Hi grade 4, this is Ms. Zimmer back again. Let's talk a little more about what you're doing for your informational writing. One thing that you know from reading nonfiction books is that they include a lot of text features. So for example, if we look at this book about fossils, in this book we see that there's a lot of pictures, and with each picture there's a caption. These are the kinds of text features you could include in your writing. Another example might be like this book here. This is another book about fossils. And in this book, there is a diagram here that shows how fossils form. And you can see it's sequential and it has a caption and each picture is labeled. So if this is something that would fit into what you're working on, you might think about including a diagram. Let's talk more specifically about some text features you could add to your informational writing. You might want to make sure that you have headings and subheadings. So those are that you have a title for that section of the text. The headings and subheadings help the author sort some of the information into similar groups. So we can see in this little box of the example that this life cycle is serving as a heading or a subheading depending on what else is on the page. You probably will also have some key vocabulary words that you're collecting to put in your glossary. Those are parts of text features. Can you make them bold so that they stand out to the reader and they recognize that those are important words? Maybe you will include diagrams like we saw in that book, a glossary with your key vocabulary words, and captions if you draw any pictures to include in your book as well. Some other examples, maybe there's a map. Is there a map that would be relevant to your topic? Or a chart and a graph that could show something. You could consider including a table of contents where it would tell everyone where they can find different sections of your book. And maybe you would also consider some pop-out boxes. You see here they're using a little box that would pop out from the page a little bit to help people to draw their attention. And you could also consider including some fast facts. These are all great examples of text features that you could consider including in your book. I hope you've seen the sample book that we created to help you understand what an information text looks like. In this book, we've already included a few features. For example, at the top, we have headings at the top of each page. And in the back, there's a glossary with some of our key vocabulary words. Something else we might think about doing is finding a page where we could draw or add a picture. So on this page with weathering and erosion, I might work to create a diagram that shows the relationship between these items. I know that weathering is when materials are broken down, and erosion is when they're moved. And then from erosion, oftentimes those materials are deposited somewhere through the process of deposition. And sadly, sometimes this cycle continues where those materials that have been placed in one location get weathered again, and this cycle continues, and we continue to see how this idea of weathering and erosion works in our environment. This is just one example of a text feature that you could include. All right, guys, we've talked all about text features now. So when you go to work today, I'd like to see you make an effort to find a place or two where you can add a text feature in your book, okay? See which ones will be best for what you're writing about. Some text features are better suited for some books than others. Good luck.